Hi everybody, this is Kristen from A Voice and a View, here to do another video. And today's healing lesson is called Leading Your Life into Abundance. And I'm going to start out the video with this. God did not create you to be miserable. He made you to be happy, to find what you love to do, to find who you want to be. He gave you gifts. He gave you a purpose. And so many down here just do the same thing every day. And me included lately, guys. I got to break the pattern. But if you're living a life like this, okay, there's always a better way. There's always room to change. I can't remember which YouTuber mentioned this, but she said, anything not growing is dead. Okay, and I can relate with this. This is very true. Life is ever changing. And if you're not happy in your situation, whether that be where you live, your job, some people that are in your lives, make some changes. If anyone is making you miserable, if anyone is controlling you, if you're not happy in that job, if nothing is going right, if you're sick of the same old, okay, this is your sign. Because anything that holds you back is going to keep you stuck. Okay, and so I want to show you how to create your life with abundance. Think of life like when you were a child and what made you happy. What were your dreams and goals? What were you focused on? And remember how free you felt at that time. And I hope you did. I know in some situations that's not the case, and even if it wasn't, what did you dream about? What did you see yourself doing in your life? And are you doing that now? Sometimes we can get away from what is meant for us, whether that be people trying to keep us stuck, trying to control us in many different ways. But you are a free, sovereign being. And this is a very important statement because God made us to be free. God didn't create us to live our lives in misery and to feel trapped and stuck in a loop. Okay, there's a lot of things and situations and people that can do this to us. But realize that you are unique. You are here for a reason. You have a purpose. And whether you understand what your purpose is or not, you do. But when you are stuck, living your life the same way over and over and over again, and letting people control you and handling you, you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to leave what no longer serves you. And this is very important. God wants to see you make bold moves in your life. And God will always meet you halfway. But He wants to see you make some bold moves to better yourself. Okay? We're here to do better, to always do better, to grow. And the more changes we make in our lives, the more we're going to create for the good. We're going to see our life soar in many different ways. But God wants to see you make moves in your life towards happiness. And whether you think you can do that financially or not, don't worry about it. When you have faith, when you have 100% certainty in knowing that life is going to happen for you, that God is going to make bold moves in your life. I got to roll up my window here. People love to walk by when I'm doing my videos. When you want to do better for yourself, okay, and when you have a connection with God, with Spirit, whatever you call God, you got to have 100% knowing and faith that it's going to work out for you. You know, it may be a little hard in the beginning, but God will move mountains for you. He will move everything and shift everything to get you to where you need to be. You can't focus on lack. You can't focus on the negative and what's going to hold you back, what's going to get in your way, if you can do it financially or not. I can guarantee you, if you make that first move, your angels, your guides, Spirit, your ancestors, they're all going to help you move in the right direction to get you on the right path. But you have to believe, you have to know 100% certainty that they're there and that they are moving in your life and helping you get to where you need to be. This is so very important, because when you realize that you're not just down here doing it by yourself, that you have help, but you have free will, one of God's gifts. We have free will to do with our energy, with what we want or don't want in our lives. And I talk about light and dark energy in all my pretty much all my videos, but you have to understand about energy that we are all both. You can make good decisions, bad decisions, but whatever you create in your life will come back to you. And everything is balance. So if you are putting a lot of good energy out into the world, that is going to return to you, because everything is balance. Okay, you may not see it for quite a long time, but the more you put good out into the world, the more you help others, the more you help yourself, the more you take accountability in your life, the more you look in the mirror and reflect on all of your decisions, whether they were positive decisions or not. Okay, the more you reflect on yourself and take accountability and be authentic and stay in the truth, the more good energy will come back to you. Okay, this is universal law. What you put out comes back and multiplied. And this works with the opposite energy as well. So pay attention to what you are creating in your life. And if you're having a lot of negative things happen to you, work through them. And eventually, they will work themselves out. The more you make changes, the more you own the energy that you put out. Taking responsibility, owning up to your actions and behaviors towards yourself, towards others. Okay, the balance of energy will happen. And the good will start coming in. And abundance can be so many different things, guys. And I'll tell you, I talk about what happens in my life. Well, Spirit works through me and shows me signs everywhere. And how abundance can come in so many different ways. But I was just at a place last week, and I stopped and got a coffee. And I had accrued 10 points, and I got a $5 off coupon for my coffee. So it was only like $3. Well, I hadn't been there since last week. And you have to buy 10 coffees to get one, with a $5 coupon. Or I call them coupons. But I just went there early today. And I had another $5 coupon on my account. And I hadn't been there since last week. Okay. These are the kinds of good things that come back into your life that surprise you, that don't make any sense. God works in mysterious ways. But I had not been there 10 times since last week. And I got another $5 coupon. So, and I've also talked about timeline shifts, guys, and I know I went through a timeline shift. God will show you so many different things to notice that you've had a shift in your life, okay? And whether you believe this or not, I can tell you. You can look back on some of my videos where I noticed a big timeline shift. And, well, I talked about my cat and how I saw her turn upside down in midair when I made a big decision in my life. I turned around and I saw my cat do a flip, a 360 flip in slow motion. She was inside her cat bed, and it was like time stood still and shifted. And I'll never forget this moment. That's when I realized that timeline shifts are real. And my coffee coupon is another example. Doesn't make sense, but Spirit works in mysterious ways and will move everything for you. Will move mountains for you to bring in abundance. Okay? When you move into the higher frequencies, when you shift through the lower frequencies, the lower chakra system in the body, and move to the heavenly frequencies, because God works in you and through you. God's not somewhere outside of you. Okay, this is the ascension process. When you move through the lower energies and go higher, and you rise, you start getting abundance in all different ways. And a lot of the times, they won't make sense. It'll just happen. It'll just be like a little miracle that comes into your life that you're like, wow, thank you, Spirit. I am grateful for that. that abundance. Always say I am grateful, because, and I did. I got a $3 and some change coffee today. And I knew it was going to be like almost $9, guys, because coffees are just going up and up in price. I'm like, ugh. And I didn't have enough cash, so I was going to pay with my card. And actually, I did end up paying with my card, but I didn't have to pay $9 or almost $9 for my coffee. But things like this is how spirit works. You will have little miracles coming in from all different directions. And even when it's not looking good in your life. And, everything is dark and light energy. We're all going to have those, these moments that come in that don't look so fantastic. Always say, I am grateful. Spirit will shift that situation faster for you to work in your favor. You have to look at life like everything is a miracle. Everything is working in your favor. Everything is happening in your life, even if it's not so great, because God is shifting everything around you to get you to where you need to be. And this is the focus that you need to have. This is how you start rewiring your brain to get out of that lack mode, to get out of the negative energies that you might be stuck in. When nothing is going right in your life and you're tired of this, tired of that. When you complain, the higher realms hear you. And they're going to give you more to complain about. Seriously. Because you're focusing on it. You are paying attention. Paying attention. Okay? You're focusing your energy on it. Energy is the real currency. Okay? Your focus. There's a confirmation that just came in. Spirit works in this way too. But you can rewire your brain. And we only use about 10% of our brain, guys. There's a big reason why they don't tell you this. You have access through this ascension process to open up more areas of your brain through meditation, through the 7 chakras of the body, and understanding how powerful your brain is. The power of the mind. Okay, you are a powerful being under God. And you have abilities that you don't realize that you have. You just have to understand how to access them and use them. You are a powerful being of light under God. And God gives you abilities, but you have to know how to access them. You have to understand how to heal enough within yourself, okay, by opening up the chakras and looking at all your darkness, looking at all of your pain and suffering, and healing from it, crying them out through your emotions, getting the darkness off of you so you can activate your light. And the more you do this, and you can look back on some of my other videos, guys, on how to do this process. But the more you release the negative energy off of your body, inside, through your heart chakra, because your heart remembers your pain, the more you release through your emotions, the more light is activated within you. And the more you come back to God, because God is the light. God is information. Knowledge is power. And when you access that information, it's like you are giving the divine a channel to work with. And Spirit will connect with you. Spirit will show you the way through ascension. The Bible is real, but it's manipulated. It's an ascension guide. But abundance can work in so many different ways. It doesn't have to just be financial. Focus your mind on what good things can come into your life. Rewire yourself. Stop focusing on all the negative, because the more negative you focus on, you're going to create. And it's going to create a lot of other bad things in your life. Start focusing on the positive creations that you can bring in. And you will start activating your gifts, guys. Your God-given gifts. Because he gave us all gifts. And you might not know what they are. But let me tell you guys, I went my whole life without understanding what I was here for. I didn't feel like I had any gifts at all. I wasn't good at anything really. I didn't have any passions. And all of a sudden I went through this process of healing, and all of a sudden I just started being passionate about so many different things. I started realizing that I was good at certain things. And now being in this process over 11 years now, it's amazing how it seems like everything that I try to do, it's like I just keep finding more and more passions. More and more things that I'm loving to do, that I'm learning that I'm pretty good at. But the thing is that when you connect, when you realize that there is a spiritual realm that wants to connect with you, when you realize this and you create a channel, God starts to work through you, and you start to transform your life. And not just your life, but you. You're going to start looking different. It's like I don't recognize myself, guys. If you saw pictures of me before, lost 52 pounds. I'm 52 and I lost 52 pounds. But you're going to start looking different. You're going to start acting different, seeing things different, hearing things different. Guys, I recognize messages through songs. I see messages through phrases on billboards, on license plates. I mean, there's so many different signs and synchronicities that I get. I'm being sent messages. You will be able to communicate with the spiritual realm when you heal enough within yourself and get to this point. It's like you come back to God. It's like you find peace within yourself after all the trials and tribulations that you've gone through. You eventually come to a point where you find peace. And that's where God wants you. God doesn't want you stuck in all the negative and in all the dark energy that they're forcing on you through the television, through politics, through the radio, through everything. All that stuff is being thrown at you to keep you stuck, to keep you focused on it. When you keep writing negative comments under someone's post, and guys, I've been there. I understand because I've done it before. When you keep doing this, You're not allowing abundance to come into your life because you're focusing on the negative. And you're adding more and more and more negative into your life, which creates karma as well, because karma is very real. Stop focusing on all of it, on all the negative. Start looking at yourself. Make changes within yourself. Look at what you need to change. And stop letting everybody control you. If you don't like that job, leave it. And find something else. And stop worrying on how it's going to happen. You know, how your transition is going to go. You know, are you going to have enough money to do it? Are you going to have this, that, you know? Sometimes your ego will take control of you. And it will. You have to balance out your ego and your heart. And here's a phrase you can say. I've mentioned this before. I am my heart. I am not my thoughts. Okay, when you start having negative thoughts come in, and they're pretty much probably not your own, guys. You always have, you will have a lot of negative thoughts come into your head that are probably not yours, because your ego is trying to control you. Remember this phrase: I am my heart, I am not my thoughts. And shift your focus. And you can, this is an exercise you can do. Say that phrase every time something comes into your head that is trying to keep you in a negative pattern. Say this phrase, and you will start to realize that it shifts your focus. When you understand what is happening, you can change it. This is really going to shift your focus. Here's another one, guys, that was shocking to me. When I started understanding about the chakra system, opening, you know, from the root chakra on up to the crown chakra, okay, crown chakra up here. When I started understanding the chakras, and trying to change my thoughts. And I can't remember if I had my throat chakra balanced out at that time. But anyways, I remember looking at or listening to someone on YouTube or something. And they said every time a negative thought comes in that you're focusing on, concentrate on your throat chakra. And this is really hard to do, guys. Well, I don't know if I would say it like that. But when you're thinking, if a bad thought comes into your head, try like shifting your focus, like you're looking at your throat chakra. Close your eyes and look and focus down at your throat chakra. And see how that calms your thoughts. It is really hard to focus your thoughts when you are concentrating on your throat chakra. I mean, seriously, try it. This will help with meditation as well when you're trying to clear your head, to clear your thoughts on the negative things that come into your brain through your ego. It will help shift you out of all of those negative thoughts. It will help control them. But this is something you can do, you know, an exercise you can do to help rewire your thought process. And every time a negative thought comes in, you can do this, but also shift your focus on a positive memory or something that happened in the past that brought you a lot of joy. the more you do this, it helps balance your ego and your heart to where your thoughts are not constantly controlling you. Okay, and you will start moving from your heart center. You will start moving in a more loving way towards others and yourself. And stop being so negative. And stop letting the negative control your every thought and action. Because it's going to want to do it. But know that you are in control. You can make these differences in your life to better yourself, to help make you better, or to help make better decisions for you and what you're doing in your world towards yourself and others. It's a really huge deal. This really helped me. Okay. Always be aware of your words and actions. Constantly be aware. Everything that comes out of your mouth, be aware of it. When something negative is about to come out of your mouth, pause. Calm down. Take deep breaths. Walk away. Whatever you got to do. You know, these are key things that you can focus your attention on to help shift your mindset on the negative or out of the negative. But these key things will help shift your life into a better direction. Will start bringing abundance towards you. You will be like a magnet and start attracting so many different good things to you. You know, you're a magnet. Whatever you're focusing on, you're creating. So you can push all of that crap away from you, so it doesn't attach to you and create more shadows within yourself. Create more darkness that attaches to you. And you can activate more of your light and attract so many good things into your life. Okay, be the magnet. When you are working from the higher energies, you know, through the heart center, the heart chakra on up, okay, you will start to realize that you don't force energy, you attract it. You know, we don't force, we attract. And in this life, guys, there's so many that think that you have to manipulate someone or hurt someone to gain something, to get what you want, whether that be for money, control, you know, all the negative energies. That's not God working. That's the opposite energy. And don't ever sign a contract that keeps you stuck to where you have to manipulate to gain something or hurt someone to gain something. Don't ever sign anything, because you will be selling your soul. I have never signed anything like this, and I never plan to. I speak freely because I am a free being under God, and I'm not restricted on what I say and what I do. As long as I'm respectful, as long as I tell the truth, because always tell the truth, guys, no matter how small. No matter how small a lie is, it's lying. Always be truthful. Always be, always honor yourself and others. And if there is manipulation and other things happening outside of you that have happened or are still happening, God will work in your favor, and God will move mountains for you and move you out of that situation and bring justice for you. But always work from a loving space. Try so hard to do this, and sometimes it can be really hard. I've been there. But the more you stay in this energy, you will find it will become so much easier over time. And all the negative starts to stay away from you and not be attracted to you. We are all free under God, but you have to let go of the chains that bind you. And so many will try to bind you into a lot of different things. But you have to let go of it all. Don't let anyone control you. Don't let anyone manipulate you. Be honest. Be careful of what you say and do. Help others. And do some reflecting on yourself. Okay, this journey is all about learning about who you really are without all the pain attached to you, without all the negative energy that has worked through you for so long. You have to basically like unstick yourself, right? You have to, well, this process is all about finding out who you are without all of your pain attached. Because the more you let go of, the more you come back to God and what God really meant for you. And God will show you who you really are. And you might not know yourself. You might not know who you are. Maybe through your whole life. That was me. But it can be really terrifying to reflect on yourself so much and look at all of your pain and suffering through your whole lifetime. And this is hard to do. But you will eventually find out who you really are and who God meant for you to be. Your true self will come out. Say, I am the higher self. Because we are the soul. We are not the body. This is just the vessel, guys. We are the soul. But this is the temple of God. And God works through your temple. And when you go through this ascension process, you will start to realize this. And God will start to work in your world. And the more you let go of that no longer serves you, and the more people that you let go of that no longer serve you, and the more you reflect and look in the mirror and take accountability of everything that you put out there, the energy that you created and put out into the world, the more you look at all of these things and make changes to better yourself, the more abundance is going to come in. And God will see you. Make bold moves. If something isn't working in your life, make the change. start surrounding yourself with positive people. If there's someone that's negative in your circle, it's time to move on, make a change, be around better people, because these are tests. The more you stay around that energy, the more you're going to create in it, and you're going to be involving yourself in it, knowingly or unknowingly. And if it's unknowingly, you're attaching yourself to situations or people that might cause harm in your life. You know, can you trust those people? If they're talking about others and gossiping, which is spell work, they might be talking about you behind your back. If they do it to someone else, they're going to do it to you, more likely. Find new people. Find your soul tribe. Take some time and spend it with yourself. Learn about yourself. And this process is all about discovering who you actually are. You know, are you wearing a mask? Are you being authentic? Are you hiding? The more you go through this process, the more you heal within yourself, the more you're going to discover who you actually are. And the more gifts are going to come in. And you're going to finally get out of that stuck mode where things just keep happening to you that are negative. You know, you got to start looking at everything and examining everything in your life. Doesn't matter what it is. Is it keeping you stuck? Is it keeping you angry? Is it keeping you miserable? Is it hurting you in any way possible? And start letting go of so much. And I've been through this process, so I know how hard it is. But life down here is not supposed to be, you know, the same every day. Dealing with nonstop chaos and negative situations all the time. The devil's in the details, guys. The devil can work through anyone. You know, dark energy can work through anyone, trying to keep you stuck. The universe will test you to see if you're going to stay where you are or if you're going to pass through that level. What decision are you going to make? Are you going to level up? Or are you going to stay where you are? You're going to make your life better? Or stay where you are? And keep dealing with the same crap over and over and over again that's making you miserable, that's harming you in some way through control or manipulation. You make decisions for you over everyone else. You have to love yourself. You have to find self-love within yourself. Make changes within yourself. And watch the world shift around you. Watch spirit move through you. And watch abundance come in from all directions. All right, guys. This is Kristen from A Voice and a View. Until next time, love you all. Bye.